minute and a half late.
But we're live now.
Yeah.
Oh, look! I look at that. I look at that face every day.
All right.
Where's the music? I didn't hear the music.
Oh, it's here. I rushed through it because we started late. There we go.
We're fine. Let's get that jam going.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh shit, that jam is ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. Well, the biggest thing is the most immediate thing is let's take it to Lex.
All right, I'm here. I'm here in Bangkok right now, and about 20 minutes ago, I'm on Khao San Road, one of the more popular places.
Bangkoculous.
You could see the sky. You could see the skyline and the lights. Is it still happening? Oh my goodness! All right, I'm with Chris Reifhausen, local comedian. Chris, what can you tell us what we've been seeing?
Sure, man. Well, basically, right now we just got an array of lights floating in the sky about 5 miles out. We know that big tall building out in the distance. That's about 5 miles, right? That's called Bio. And then these lights look like they're behind that big building. So we're saying it's probably 5 or 6 miles out. And you see it's just an array of 3 vertical lights and then 2 diagonal lights, right? But they're moving around, they're rotating. It's not a crane, it ain't no fucking drone. Dude, a drone is the size of a fucking shoe, right? I can't see your shoe from 6 miles away, right? The fucking stuff. It's a fucking UFO, it ain't no crane, it ain't helicopters, right? It ain't no drone, or it's not drones, like, dude, a drone, I've been filming for 25 minutes. A drone would have ran out of battery by now, all right? It's fucking,
Chris,
Can you hear him?
Yeah. Chris, so what you're saying is that oh yeah. So what you're saying is this is a legit UFO. We don't know what it is.
It's a legit UFO. There's motherfucking probably some Chinese fucking rocket scientists flying in that motherfucker, spying on Bangkok. Or I don't know. It could be anything. It could be aliens. TikTok. It could be TikTok. It could be 3 dumb Chinese girls making a TikTok. It could be a rich Thai guy in a fucking a rich Thai Elon Musk. I don't think there's one out there. But the guy who has Redfield.
Could be Tinkerbell. Could be
a cool guy and it's fucking little. It gives you wings, so maybe he's up there. And it could be alien. I don't know, man.
It could be aliens.
It's fuck though. I mean, look at that thing. And it's now just.
Ralph, is there any chance it could be a building antenna?
It's not, because it's gonna shift. You'll see it move and you'll see it blink out. Ralph, and like this is the skyline that we see every day. I've been here a year, dude. All right, I look out this balcony every day for about a year. I live a floor below. All right, so I have the same view, and that shit is not part of the skyline, bro. All right, I'll tell you right now, nothing like that in the skyline. Straight up UFO. All right. Thanks,
what else could it be? It could be a giant with three shiny titties. Could be
vertical shiny titties.
Could be Michael Jackson breakdancing in the sky. Could be
we don't know.
It could be the spirits of our ancestors looking down upon us, questioning our decisions.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Could be a god whisking an egg, beating some eggs, scrambled eggs. But he eats sparkly eggs.
Speaking of ancestors, I mean, we should talk about Chadwick Boseman real quick because he.
Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I gasped when I heard that, or when I read that. I let out a loud gasp. I thought it was fake. I was like, I thought for sure it was fake. I couldn't. I don't know.
The finality of that kind of announcement is
crazy.
Yeah. What a bright light, especially over the last 4 or 5 years,
I feel like I had a journey with that guy. I think Black Panther was the only movie of his I saw, and I remember thinking I wanted somebody else to be cast.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw any of his other movies, and I just was like, he just seemed to me like, I don't know, for me, I get tired of like the whole black dignified thing, because the whole thing is like it's almost racist to me, because like blacks are stoic and dignified. They feel no, it's like what they do to the Native American. They make him this kind of stoic figure who has no humanity, is just all dignity.
Like one emotion, like one emotion. Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I hated that. And when I saw him in Civil War, I was like, oh, this character is boring.
Yeah.
And then in Black Panther it was so great because he was so funny and so vulnerable and so all that, but like still super regal and powerful and simple and elegant. And he was the perfect Black Panther. He was perfect.
And you know what else it did? It showed, you know what I mean? It showed this Black Panther.
Alexa's in the club right now. What the fuck?
Oh, is it too loud? I'm sorry.
It
I thought it
showed,
was all right.
it
Did it get
showed,
louder?
no. It showed Wakanda shift to the end. You know what I mean? They like went out and announced themselves to the world.
Mm.
The whole society shifted, which is what we're going for now. So it was an important movie for now. You know?
Really, it was, and it also was like, it was really. I bet.
Ralph had something profound to say, but he froze.
Yeah, he was betting. He was betting good money on something, and then he froze up.
Yeah.
I like the movie. I like the movie about the Black Panther.
Lex,
So
did you know about it last night before we talked or after we talked? Because I didn't want to break the news.
After we talked.
Yeah.
But honestly, I got to be honest, and I mean, I guess it's just me, but I'll be just really honest. These kind of like celebrity things are, I can recognize the sadness of a life lost.
Yeah.
What happened?
I've never felt like emotional about anybody's passing. I think there might be one, but I can't remember right now. So that's how.
I hear that. The whole world mourned Robin Williams, and I was also at my grandmother's.
It didn't bother me. Did Ralph freeze up again? Oh no, he's like.
Yeah, I think he did.
No, I'm
no.
here.
Ralph,
All right,
move
Frank,
every so often.
You were about to say something profound.
Well, I was
Yeah,
about to talk about how I bet a bunch of black kids became scientists because of that movie, and the second I talked about science, my computer cut off.
Irony.
It's that TikTok, yo. It's that TikTok.
The only thing I really know about Chadwick Boseman's work is just hearing him on podcasts and seeing Black Panther. He was the greatest Black Panther. I don't think they could have cast anybody better. I really loved him in that film. I loved his leadership and it really was that film really was a gift to Black Americans, to Africans, to Black people over the world, and to America, like you were saying, Sean.
Yeah.
And God
I will
bless
say,
him.
sorry, I said you're done. I will say though, just because I was also saying when you cut out that those things don't touch me, but I was touched. Like it doesn't get me emotional, but one of the things that knowing that he had cancer for the last 4 years, and he's going out, spending his time to talk to other kids who are sick themselves. I love that about celebrities, that they could use that to just bring a positiveness to a kid's face and give them a moment. That's dope. The best I can do is knock an ice cream cone out of a kid's hand, and then I know he'll remember me. But he just has to dress up like Black Panther, and the kid's ecstatic for the rest.
Yeah.
The rest of his life.
He was definitely one of my more favorite Marvel characters, but not in the comic books. In the comic books, I really didn't like Black Panther that much, but he made the role, like he made Black Panther in that movie. So
You ever
he's
hear the story about the
one of
comic
my
book
top
of Black
5
Panther?
Marvel characters.
What's that?
The comic book after they made it, the editor asked them about like the second or third article. I don't know what you call them, series, episode.
Issue?
They asked them to put more white people in the. Asked white people in the script, so then he started writing in the KKK.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah. It worked.
Good. They were very woke back then. Very woke time. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. It's such a shame too because they were already planning were already planning Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
You know, Chadwick Boseman was going to reprise his role, and the villain in that movie was going to be Black Panther's arch nemesis, a white South African named Badwick Chodeman.
What's that? What's your source?
What's that?
Before I go in,
What's your source?
Fucking
The Onion.
The Onion. Fucking no. Fucking Jet Magazine.
guys, real quick, I'm just going to show you something cool. When I moved out of this apartment, since I moved out and I moved back in yesterday, I have a roommate. Can you see?
The fuck is that?
It's a bird. It's a bird in the nest.
No, we
Nice.
can't see anything. I can see a castle or what looks like a
Wait,
castle.
hold on.
It looks like a spider web.
It is. It's a netting that they made so that birds couldn't fly in it. But then I tucked it up so I could actually get to the side, and I tucked it underneath the air conditioner there so I could actually get to, I didn't want the netting. Felt like ghetto and stuff. So I took the netting up underneath it, and because I was living here regularly and going out, nothing flew in and lived there. But I was out of here for about a month or two, and the bird made a nest,
Ah.
and she has 2 eggs. She has 2 eggs.
I think our first guest is about to join us. We'll go from Black Panther to movies in general, because our first guest, Rick Guzman, has watched, I think, over 500 films since he's
How many?
500. He's been
Haven't we
course,
all watched
5
over
months.
500 films?
what?
In 5 months.
Oh, in 5 months.
Yeah.
Oh, in one sitting. I was about to say, I think we've all
Well,
seen 500 films.
I mean, I'm sure he's moved around, but
Since quarantine.
yeah, since March, and he's been documenting it on Facebook. I feel like I first found out about it when he was like at 80 or something like that, but he's up to 500 now.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, the real deal.
This guy must like movies.
Yeah, we'll find
He
out.
hates them. That's the irony of it. He hates them.
Hey, what's up?
Morning, everybody.
I thought we would get you prior to your 500th film, but you surpassed that 2 days ago, right?
Yes. Thursday night, I hit number 500.
What was it?
It was
You
a
had-
documentary called Bob the Monster, which is about Bob Forrest, who people either know from Thelonious Monster or as the guy in the hat on Celebrity Rehab.
Oh, shoot. All right.
I don't know him at all.
It's funny because
neither.
Jay said, I thought you looked around because you were at the time wearing a hat. And you were like, wait a minute, is that me? You're also wearing a hat, Sean. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
You got 3 out of 4 people wearing a hat. Rick's wearing a bandana. I'm the odd man out.
yeah.
That's
man,
okay.
yeah.
You got headphones though. And a sweet afro.
Everybody's got their own style.
Rick,
Yes,
so you've seen all these movies. What's your favorite genre?
horror, definitely horror.
Yeah.
Without
All right.
question.
Please talk to me about that because people love horror and I don't get it. I'm always dragged. Whenever I watch a horror film, it's always because somebody dragged me to it. I never understood. the
I'd like
appeal of
to. I'd like to confirm the same feeling, Ralph. So please, I'm adding my name to this question.
Okay. There's actually a documentary on Shudder right now, was on Showtime previously, called Why Horror, that explores this in great detail, even some of the science behind it.
Wait a minute. Are you sidestepping the question?
No,
genre.
This is a yes or no. No, it's not. It's not actually.
I'm saying that might help you after I get. I can only speak on
I get it.
why I love horror. I understand there are even close friends of mine that don't like it, and that's okay. It started out for me, being a child of the 80s, VHS coming to prominence, the golden age of the slasher movie. Going to Catholic school, the nuns hated horror movies. So if the people in authority in my life dislike something, I naturally think it's cool. I'm going through puberty.
Most personal answer, probably. That's
Yes.
a great answer.
I'm going through puberty, and so it's one of the easiest way for me to see attractive naked people. That's another reason I like it.
Yeah. Bloody boobies.
Or sometimes wet. It all depends.
Yeah. Rick,
It's funny because my mom used to say that to me as a baby in my crib. She would bloody boobies, bloody boobies, and I was like, "What's this about?"
Rick,
That'll turn you off to horror. I get that.
Yeah.
There's also the weird thing. It's the safest way to explore death, and a lot of people don't want to do it. They feel gross about it. I, as a lover of the city of New Orleans, I just look at it as like it's an inevitable thing. It's nothing to be afraid of. It can be painful for survivors when you lose somebody, but if you're in touch with it, if you confront your fears a little more, it makes it a lot more palatable in my experience.
Mm.
So, one of the things I learned in therapy, we all know about the fight or fight response, but there's
Yep.
also freeze and there's face as well. So there's two more S in the situation. So if you go towards your fear and kind of look it in the eye and explore it, you can find the entertainment because horror is a really well-rounded genre. It's all encompassing in my opinion because you have your action adventure stylings.
Rick,
You can have your mystery thriller stylings. There's a shit ton of comedy in there as well. And you'll also have drama if you have good actors. There'll be a lot of shitty actors in there as well. That's
Rick,
unquestionable.
I want to add my name to the last question underneath
Yes.
Ralph and Lex's.
No. You know, the time was before the answer.
No, but I want to turn the tables and then ask you guys, Ralph and Lex, what is a horror film that you do like, since you don't like the genre?
Anya and I, because she's white, we
Uh-huh.
watched Get Out last night.
Oh.
I heard that was good.
I
First
do like
time?
Get Out. Get Out's pretty
That
cool.
counts as a horror movie.
Yes. Well, Jordan
Okay.
Peele calls it a documentary. Was that your first time watching it, Ralph?
No, it was my second, maybe even third time watching it. Probably
Ah,
second
cool.
time.
I did like Get Out.
it.
I did like Get Out. I'll also go with the. I'm a fan of the Ash
Oh yeah, Evil Dead.
Evil Dead stuff. The
Yeah.
humor of that is enjoyable, and it's also over the top ridiculous, which then I can enjoy. But when it's realistic and I can't take it, or really gory for like no reason. I'm too hippie to think like, oh, I'm trying to attract that in my life. Like I watched Oprah too many times.
Yeah.
That's horror. That's horror right there.
I'm trying to look at like a list of like the greatest horror movies to see if there's any that I'm like, oh yeah, I love this, but I can't.
Cabin in the Woods is one of my favorites.
Oh,
That's
the
a
light.
great
What is? Oh, Cabin in the Woods. Isn't that what the guy from Boy Meets World?
No, I think actually Thor's in it. What's his name?
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. Yes.
The apparently I haven't seen it, but The Lighthouse counts as a horror movie. I'd like to see that.
It's weird. I
Okay.
didn't consider it scary, but yeah, I guess I would be frightened if I had to live in a lighthouse with Willem Dafoe for several months.
Yeah, dude. He doesn't shower often.
A lot of alcohol being imbibed, and I know this is a Stoner Morning show, and
Yeah.
I'm straight edge, so that, being stuck in a lighthouse with
Interesting.
drunken Willem Dafoe is not for me.
Yeah, and this, you know what they don't talk about lighthouses? The stairs. There's a lot of stairs involved,
That's
and
good.
so I wouldn't be a fan.
That should be the first thing pointed out on any tour of a lighthouse.
A
Mhm.
lot of stairs.
There's a lot
What's
of
your
stairs
favorite?
inside.
My favorite, definitely Get Out, without
Yeah?
question. Yeah, because
That's a great one.
one of the things that I love about her, along with the scares, is that a lot of times there will be the social commentary, and the horror is just the candy coating surrounding it. So something like Night of the Living Dead, something like Get Out, there will be a deeper message within, just given to us in this package, and it'll cause some thought that you probably wouldn't have gotten to otherwise unless you watched this horror movie.
Yeah.
I got friends of mine that say they like feel good movies, something they can put on and turn their mind off. Watching over 500 films during this pandemic, if I'm watching a movie for the first time and I'm turning my mind off, it's not a good movie. If it's
Yeah.
something I've watched multiple times, it's like, all right, yeah, I can mess with my phone, I can get a drink without pausing it. But if it's my first time viewing it and you don't have the hook deep in me and I'm along for the ride, then it's not a good movie.
All right, this is a personal question.
Wait, hold on. I want to change my answer. I want to change. Don't lose your thought, Lex. I want to change my answer. I've changed my answer. I said it was Get Out, and of course I nailed it. I nailed Rick's favorite. Kudos to me. But I'm actually going to change my answer. My favorite horror movie actually is Thriller, the Michael Jackson Thriller.
Yeah.
That counts.
All right.
You know what? I don't even know what a movie is anymore.
I wouldn't say that counts as a movie, but there are horror elements directed by Joe Dante, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's a 10-minute film.
It would count as a short film, sure.
It's a short film.
And,
Full length,
and
probably Get Out, I guess. Or The
there's
Shining.
horror. There's horror involved with Michael Jackson outside of that production. So yeah, sure, that could count.
Works
But
on many levels.
What was your question, please, Lex?
Oh, it might be personal, but how many of these movies did you watch alone? And how many? What was your favorite? Like, if you had guests, then did you have anybody like worst one, best one? You don't have to doubt names. Or you do. I don't know. You have any good stories about that? Guests?
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah, during
quarantine.
most of them were alone. Didn't see my girlfriend for about 2 months because I got sick in March.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I got real lucky. I got a fever and slept it off. My mom got sick a week later, and she had a very, very rough time with it, but she's since recovered. Once I got an antibody test, once my girlfriend got an antibody test, now we're back to seeing each other. She's working from home. I am not, so I'll go over to her place after she's done with work, or she'll come over here. So most of them were alone. My favorite film, not counting Get Out, my favorite new film of this year was on video on demand. It's called The Rental. It's directed by Dave Franco, and
wow,
it scared me. And being a horror connoisseur, something that makes me feel uneasy is very, very rare. And not to spoil anything of it, the plot is you have two couples. They get a rental house, as inferred by the title.
I don't like it. I don't like it so far.
So you've
Sorry, I'm scaring me. I'm a little nervous.
No.
Go ahead.
It's okay. So you have a man and a woman. They work together. The man, he has his fiance, I believe. The woman dates the man's younger brother. So they get a place. And every time you think, oh, this is a movie about this, it flips it on you.
I knew it.
Something very, very different. My least favorite movies, there are two. One is going to be a horror movie. The other one, not so much. Cannibal Holocaust was available on Shudder, and I realized that's one of those movies I've never seen. It was banned when I was growing up. Let's see what it's all about. And it's just animal cruelty on a big level, and I don't recommend it for anybody.
Huh.
But other than that, during the pandemic, among my group of friends, we've done Zooms like this with a movie discussion group. Everybody picks a different movie, and we watch it. And sometimes you watch things that you normally wouldn't watch. So there was 4 weddings and a funeral, and that took years off my life. Not only because it's 5 of the same thing, but it's just because it's an awful, unfunny romantic comedy.
Holy shit, I love that movie. God damn it. I get it, though. I get why somebody would have.
They had no chemistry, and even it's like driving down a straight road where there's no turns, there's no potholes, there's no bridges, no underpasses. You can see your destination 2 hours away. There's nothing. There's no fun billboards to distract you. It's like, all right, I'm getting on this bus, and I know exactly where it's taking me.
Did you finish it?
Yeah.
That's, man, if I don't like a movie, I can't finish it. Also, I'm changing my answer yet again. Okay, my actual favorite horror movie is not. Maybe it's tied with Thriller. It's. I don't know if you've seen this one, Rick. Mother.
Which one?
The
one
Darren
with Jennifer
Aronofsky.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that was. I don't know what that was. I
Wild.
guess you could call it a motion picture.
Yeah, it's something. I
Actually,
love it.
actually, no. What I call that movie is a cautionary tale for Jennifer Lawrence, because
Mm,
my girlfriend told me that she got romantically involved with Darren Aronofsky during the making of that movie. But it's like everything in this script is telling you about a writer who is really fucked up, self-centered, going for the adulation. Like, and here's the torture you're going to go through by being involved with him.
mhm.
Well, he
Yeah,
warned her. He
you
warned her.
wonder.
So, what were you going to ask, Sean?
Okay, if the four of us were coming over,
Hmm.
what movie that you have seen over the last 500 movies or that you have not seen would you put on for us to watch together as five of us together?
For people who don't lean towards horror, I think
I
the
do.
best
I do.
way to break
Eileen,
them in,
Eileen.
Yeah, Eileen.
the best way to break them in for everybody involved is to go with a horror comedy. And y'all seem like you have, good sense of humor. I've know Sean from the Magnet Theater and the improv scene. I was fortunate enough to perform with him one night. That was great. So I'd lean towards that. So there's a movie called Hell Baby, which has
Oh,
a lot of very funny people
Yeah, yeah.
like Rob Corddry, Leslie Bibb, Paul Shear, Keegan Michael Key, Ricky Lindholm. And it's about an expectant couple. They move into a house just outside of New Orleans that is supposedly haunted, and weird shit starts going down immediately. And there is some gore. There are, as implied by the title, demonic supernatural happenings. But
Ooh,
you're laughing so hard most of the time. Who can tell?
ooh. I have a
Who
question.
can tell?
Sure.
Is there any poop humor in it? Because you listen to a
Poop.
lot of things the movie has.
Yes, yes. There is some poop humor in it. There
Yeah.
is there is full frontal nudity. There is evisceration.
nice.
There are
Rick, I'm
clergy
sorry.
jokes.
If I could just jump in here,
Sure.
I want to go back and change Ralph's answer to his favorite movie again.
Okay.
It's going to be
Good.
Scream this time. Ralph's favorite horror movie is Scream.
Okay, cool.
Love Scream, dude.
I was gonna say scary movie. I was
Mhm.
gonna say scary movie. At some point.
I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith's Tusk. That's
Yes,
a good movie.
I watched that recently. Yeah, it still holds up. I miss Michael
Yeah.
Parks greatly.
Rick, of the
Yes.
500 movies you've watched since you've been quarantining, which movies have you forgotten that you've watched?
Which movies have I forgotten? Let's go through the list. I'm busting out the phone here. There's a couple that are that I've either watched, and sometimes I have to check and like, wait a second, didn't I watch this one already?
I'm gonna
And
get
the answer
going, but
is
I'm listening.
maybe. Let's go back a bit. Some of the ones are just they're so frequently watched by me that it's like, oh, I should watch that one again, and then I have to go back and realize, oh, I did already watch that one.
Do you include those in the 500 if you watch it over again?
No, I check and then I don't watch it again.
Oh wow.
I'm trying to avoid repeats deliberately. Vast of Night, that one I forgot because it wasn't that great. Let's see what else.
Any that you forgot that were excellent?
It's hard to forget something that's
He's looking.
excellent. Oh,
Yeah.
another one that wasn't that great, a martial arts movie called Dirty Ho, which
Dirty Ho.
Yeah, if if you love the
I think I've seen
Wu-Tang
that.
Clan, you
Carolina
gotta
deep
Yeah.
cuts.
you gotta pick
I think
that
I've seen
up.
that Dirty Ho.
Alex,
Are we,
you can
are
walk
we
into
calling
any door
is
and
sex
see
a
that.
martial art? If so, I've seen that movie too.
No, the gentleman's name was Ho, and he fought dirty.
Oh,
That one wasn't that great because it was kind of a comedy, and I was looking for more of a straight up martial art kind of. We're just gonna kick this guy's ass. Come to Daddy with Elijah Wood. I forgot I watched that one. that had some daddy issues in there. Throughout. Molly's Game. I forgot I watched that.
Poker.
Yes.
How was that one?
It was okay. Again, that was another movie discussion club selection that I had already seen previously and somebody else chose. And it's like, it's not awful, so I'll watch it again. Some Kind of Hate. I forgot about that one. That one wasn't that great either. Same with.
That would be a good XFL player's name on his jersey.
The Night Sitter, I had higher hopes for.
Wow, you've forgotten a lot of movies.
Yeah, because again, that hook didn't get into me upon first viewing, like Hail Caesar. So like it's not last. And like I had another of these movie discussion groups last night, and people were anticipating Christmas, and they're like, Rick doesn't like Christmas, so we'll throw 4 Christmases in there. And I'm like, I've already seen it. I didn't like it. They're like, what didn't you like about it? Like, I remember nothing about the movie. I know I saw it, and it's like, okay, that's something I never need to see again, which I think is probably the worst insult you can give a movie. Like, if you hate something like Four Weddings and a Funeral or Cannibal Holocaust, like the memory stays with you. That it's like, okay, I hated it, and here's why. If you watched the movie, you sat through the whole thing, and you have no memory of it happening, that's somehow worse, in a way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just want to say, I know you say you weren't that into Hail Caesar, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you still got a good deal because you missed out on its much less successful sequel, Sleek Caesar.
I have one last question for Rick.
Sure.
How many times did you watch Groundhog Day in a row? And does that count as one, or
not one of the movies that I watched during the pandemic. There have been a couple movies that have taken that and rolled with it in the horror genre.
Oh, really?
They even reference it quite extensively in Happy Death Day, which I thought was going to be really, really stupid, but it turns out it was all right.
Hey, did you see that movie on Netflix where there was this thing? Oh, I think it was called Tears, and it was like they had this building that had a square in the middle, and they had all these levels, and then food would drop from the top, and like it would just go down. It would be on each floor for like 15 minutes, and then people would eat their food, and it just would slowly like not have any food on it. So the people at the lower levels weren't getting any food. They were all cutting each other and killing each other. Do you see any movie like that?
I have not seen the movie that you're talking about, but it sounds a little Snowpiercer-y, which is a good movie.
Is that a horror movie?
It's a horrible movie.
I would consider it a horror movie.
Oh, then that's I have a new favorite movie. I have a new favorite horror movie, and it is Snowpiercer for sure. That's one of my favorite actors of all time. Love Snowpiercer.
Sean, put it in the ledger that I'm going to play the rest of this Stoner Morning Show, but on protest.
That's fine.
Just put it in the ledger.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Jay, bio ledger. We should end with each of us. We should give Rick a movie suggestion.
Please.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's the last good movie that I watched?
You watched Get Out last night.
Yeah, I'm not gonna recommend that though. I got better stuff.
Okay, what you got?
Do one. Yeah, what you got, man? You just put the bar real
Come back
high.
to me.
Okay.
What do you got, Sean? You asked the question. You got.
Have you seen on Hulu? There's a documentary about the biosphere. I think it's called Spaceship Earth.
I have not.
Biodome.
I'll put it on the
Biodome
list.
with Pauly Shore.
I ain't watching Biodome. No.
All right,
Okay.
so Lex suggests Biodome, and I suggest.
No, I thought that's a documentary you were talking about. I'm sorry. I was going to suggest a good book.
To be honest, for most of the early part of the pandemic, especially after being sick, my head was so scattered I could not focus on reading. And then one of my favorite singers, Mark Lanigan, put out his memoir, and it's very much a sex, drugs, rock and roll, and violence story. So I'm like, yeah, this I can actually focus on, because we all know those people that just have crazy shit happen to them, and then they tell their stories, and it's like, how the fuck did that? That's one of these books. So finally, I'm able to concentrate on that.
It's great.
What else you got?
Jason, you got any movie suggestions? Ralph, you got one, Ralph?
I'll recommend this one right now. It's completely different. I don't know, Rick, that you and I have compatible movie tastes, because I love Four Weddings and a Funeral. But I love this movie. It's a horror movie. It's a horror movie. It's a personal horror movie. It's a horror movie of the worst thing that can happen just in somebody's life, but not in nobody dies, or somebody might die, but nobody dies. Funny People. Judd Apatow's Funny People.
Oh, I hated that movie.
I liked the first one. The second one was horrible. It was like two movies. It was like two movies in one movie.
Oh, that's what I love about it.
It's one of those movies.
All right.
One thing and then it turns into something else.
Yeah.
I'm not an Adam Sandler guy. That's my issue.
Oh man.
I'll give you my suggestion is a documentary called I think We're Alone Now. The Tiffany story, the story of the stalkers about Tiffany.
Heard of it?
It's hilarious. Yeah, it's great, and you could get it free on YouTube. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I put I think We're Alone Now into IMDb, and I got a movie with Peter Dinklage.
No, it's a document. You could. How about you put it in YouTube, and put Tiffany.
The one from 1987.
Yeah. It's about her stalkers.
Ooh.
It's real low. It's real low budget documentary, but you can see it free on YouTube, and I think it's super enjoyable.
Obsessive fans. Something that this show will have someday, guaranteed.
My favorite quote from the movie is when one of the stalkers says, "The difference between me and what a stalker is I actually really love her." So.
Wow.
Yeah. And they treat them with respect. They treat because these people are borderline crazy, and they treat them with respect and try to get them a little help,
Wow.
Pretty interesting.
That sounds very, very frightening. That sounds like real horror.
It is great.
Jay, any movie ideas, thoughts?
Absolutely. Rick, if you already haven't seen it, Only Lovers Left Alive.
I already watched it.
Cool
great movie, great music.
Yeah, that's why I fell in love with the movie, was because of all the music.
Great performances throughout.
Yeah.
An atypical. That would be another film for our friends that aren't as into horror. In that it's a love story. There just happen to be vampires in it.
Yeah.
What I liked about that movie was the silence between the music.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that Jim Jarmusch?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it when it came out, and I didn't get to.
Write that down, Ralph.
Too late.
It'll be your next favorite horror movie.
Wow.
Well, Rick, I don't know if anybody wants to see your movie recommendations, they can look you up on Facebook, right?
They can.
Yeah.
They can. I'm also the host of the Spooky Doings podcast, which is now on Spotify. You can get it on iTunes. You can check that out on Instagram. Prior to the pandemic, we do Spooky Doings Improv around New York, but right now we can't. So, that's on Facebook, and one day we'll be able to perform in front of other people, and we'll rope Sean in to make some spooky funny.
Sure, yeah.
You guys should do a crossover with Philip Casal and Welcome to Hell.
I'm open to anything.
You hear that, Philip Casal? Casal? And Welcome to Hell. I think BJ is part of that too.
I've seen that show. That's on.
I think you were on that show, no?
I was on that show, yeah. Rick, thanks for joining with us, and we'll let you get back to your DVD.
Watch your movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Thank
Hey,
you for
Rick,
having me.
what movie are you gonna watch next?
I hadn't decided. I might watch that Tiffany thing if I can find it. But other than that, I think
Correct.
because I also try to make it at least one movie a day that I've never seen before. So there's that Tiffany thing, or a movie out of Asia called Man Monsters. So we'll see. We'll see
If you
which
can't
one
find
makes
it,
the cut.
when we get off live, I'll Facebook message you a link to it because I know I have.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. I think we're alone now.
Everybody stay
Have a good day,
good.
Rick.
Stay healthy. Stay spooky.
Bye, Rick.
if you
Thanks for
can.
popping in.
Okay. Have a good one. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Woo.
You know what? I just want to check out the podcast because that guy is knowledgeable in the ways of things that he's talking about.
Yeah.
He knew what he was talking about. We couldn't get him on one. I couldn't get one gotcha on him.
Not one. You
Well,
were trying.
I know. We were trying.
The
We
way you were
talked about
building
it
up a
beforehand.
sweat, it was freaking me out.
Yeah,
He answered every question.
he did.
I couldn't break him. He found his love quick. I mean, he knew he had a love. He went to movies hard, right when we shut down.
Mm.
What's your favorite one? Do you have a favorite genre, Sean?
Favorite genre? I wouldn't say horror is my favorite. It's actually probably documentaries. Probably documentaries.
Wow.
Yeah, documentaries are fun.
Yeah. I think my favorite documentary of all time is American Movie. It's about these two guys in, I think, Minnesota trying to make a horror film.
Oh, wow.
And they keep on getting drunk and stoned, and it prevents them from finishing their movie.
And it's a documentary.
It's pretty ridiculous, yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's like
My favorite documentary is either Won't You Be My Neighbor, the Mr. Rogers documentary, or When We Were Kings, the documentary about the Muhammad Ali fight in Zaire with
That's a good documentary.
George Foreman. Yeah, I love that one.
That documentary made me think maybe I like boxing.
Yes, exactly. That and the movie Ali formed a lifelong obsession with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
So, what was the name of that movie again, or that documentary? I want to.
When We Were Kings.
No, Sean's.
Oh
That
shit!
sounded. Sorry, Ralph.
I'll answer your question. The movie that Ralph was talking about is When We Were Kings. No, it's American Movie.
Oh, American Movie.
Yeah. But thank you for your question, Lex. Didn't break me.
That was a good one.
It's so good to remind somebody that they didn't beat you. Didn't break
I'm
me.
losing my edge. I'm
still here. What's the UFO update?
You know, I haven't checked on it. I was going to look, and then I realized it was so loud that I went back in.
Have the aliens landed yet?
Those aliens need to bring
The lights are still there.
COVID cure.
There's half the lights are still there, and it's in a different shape. But that's what it's been doing for hours now. And you know what?
Yeah,
I am a skeptic. I don't think Chris is really hard on the. He has a hard on for aliens and all that. During the quarantine, when we were in real quarantine here, and we all started losing our minds a little bit, he really went on a kick for a while about the Anunnaki and how like they must have came in and jizzed on primates and made us, or whatever they did to make us have the growth spurt of, because our brains did grow in a shorter time span than, that's science. So there's some science-based facts to it, So I get where he's coming from, that there was just an evolution in the brain that was like had sparked, but I believe it's mushrooms. I'm a stoned ape theory kind of guy, not aliens came in and stardusted us.
But the aliens might have landed and then led us to the mushrooms.
Yeah, that could be it.
Mushrooms are aliens.
That's the thing. I think mushrooms are aliens.
I just imagine the only reason I was laughing, not at what you were saying, Lex, but just at the thought that those aliens, maybe they're not called Anunnaki at all. Maybe that's just what they say when they come. Anunnaki!
Yeah. It's like a real dumb joke. I think. Anunnaki.
Oh, shit. That's such a good word.
Who do we got coming up next?
Well, our next guest hasn't seen any of my messages yet, so it might be
shit.
us hanging out for a while.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's still one
I
coming
don't
up
know.
after that.
Yeah, we have 2 guests coming in. We have a golf.
Hey, Jason, what's your shirt about?
Yeah, and then
Okay, if you can guess it.
It's a cock on a weed cock on pie. So chicken pot pie. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
It's Recoculus.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
My friend Bill Suter noticed. Bill Suter gave me that hat, Jason, that I gave to you, that I bequeathed to you, and then he called me out on it because he watches episodes of us, and he saw that I gave you the hat, and it hurt him a little bit. So I want to apologize and say that I gave it to him. I can't travel with too many hats.
I thought you got that hat in Richmond, the hat that Jason's wearing. Didn't you get that when we were together? Didn't you buy that weed?
I got it right after I got the car, and we drove the Chrysler LeBaron.
Yeah.
And Bill had got me that hat. So you might have saw it first time on that, but we didn't get on the trip.
I think you were wearing that hat when you bought a weed shirt in Richmond, maybe.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
I'm thinking about it.
Christ
Right.
LeBaron would be a good name for a rapper.
Oh yeah.
Christ
That's a good
LeBaron.
That's Trump's new son's name.
Jay, get on that.
What?
That's Trump's new son's name.
Christ
Christ
LeBaron. Just ruined it. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris put out a statement about Chadwick Boseman like right this morning, and I really don't like it. It's
No.
really a little bit gross. It's like we're hip, we're down, guys. God, it hit us just as hard as the rest of you, and maybe it's sincere, but ugh.
Yeah.
I'm going to start going on record, if I could. Sorry to get political, but you brought it up. It more made me think, and I got distracted until I say this. I want people to start, like, I feel like I'm forced to vote again on a person that I don't want to vote for. And I want us to start recognizing, I'm just saying it's a new thought that maybe people could start thinking about, is that to stop arguing with the other side and hold people accountable that we are electing as officials to push our own agenda, to push the agenda that we're not vote as a lesser of two evils. Well, they still need our vote, and so we need to start actually moving this. There's a movement going forward that, and a lot of people are disappointed in the people that, like, I'm bummed out about Kamala Harris. I'm bothered by it, and Joe Biden is a horrible pick, and I feel like I'm gonna. He's not even close. He was the worst out of all of them to me. Honestly, the two of those are two of the worst people. I don't know if so anyway, I'm just saying, the point is, we have to start making it a point to, like, move from the, like, lower levels up. Shirtless Biden watches Trans Am in the White House driveway. That's real.
Yeah.
I'm just putting this up in support of your point, Lex.
I want people to start recognizing that even if you are quote unquote forced to vote for this person, let them know it at least. Let them know that that you have an agenda. Like, get more active than just going like, oh, this is what we're doing right now, because shit ain't moving. And that guy's I think he's bought and paid for it.
I had a new thought that kind of it's not necessarily parallel with what Lex is saying, but it sort of like intersects with a little bit. And it's that voting for somebody you don't love is democracy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes. People
who are voting for Trump and they love him, it's just the same as voting for a supreme leader in a way. I'm not interested in voting for somebody that I love. So I mean,
Yeah, but
and it's because it's you get them in office and then you stay hard on them.
Anunnaki!
Anunnaki!
Yeah. To then what you're saying, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm not upset that I'm voting for somebody that I don't love.
Mm.
No, but I'm also talking about like pay attention to down ballot. Pay attention to down ballot because they're the most vocal towards you. We're not going to be able to scream all the way to the top. But if we can get enough more progressives available, just somebody, and you know what? Even if you disagree, just hold the people accountable. That they can't just say that you're where else are you going to go? Where else are you going to go? Is gross. And the DNC is not democratic. They have these super delegates, and it's not democratic. They have money, and they have money in the system. We need to be arguing at the people that will listen to us to get that money out, because we're still subsidizing oil companies $4.5 million a year, $4.5 billion a year, and then we can't get our money. That's our tax money to oil companies.
Yeah.
I mean, look at where our tax money is going.
And they took that off the DNC pledge that they weren't going to take that money, and now they've removed that. The party itself is moving right as well. So if we think that the country is right, we have to take part of the party that is our only option. That's what I'm saying.
Sounds like this guy wants our vote, or the way that Lex is talking. Sounds like he
I
wants
want Joe Biden. How many times have you seen? I've seen at least 3 different clips where the guy says, "I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden." He goes, "Fine, then get out of here. Go walk away." You know, what do you want to do? A push-up contest? This is how Joe Biden talks to people who say he doesn't go. He's not reaching to the left to bring people. He's bought and paid for. That's why they coalesced behind him. There wasn't a democratic movement. He doesn't have a movement. He has corporate money that said, "This is your candidate."
You might be wrong though.
Here's
I'm not
game.
this time.
Here's the game that Anya and I play.
There might be a
see
movement behind him.
Let me see. All right, pretend we do. I don't know if you guys seen that clip of Joe Biden tries to caress the face of the young woman. So I'm gonna.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do it to myself. So I'm gonna caress my own face.
Yeah. Okay.
And then. You guys see that clip?
Okay, yeah.
He does this to a young girl, and then she goes,